Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Pep and this is the Sentinel. Today I am going to do a review of a very popular fragrance that was released in 2015. And no, it's not Dior Sauvage, it is Armani's Acqua di Gio Profumo. Okay guys, let's get straight into it. Acqua di Gio, the original Acqua di Gio was released back in 1996 and subsequently became the biggest selling men's fragrance of all time, I believe. It's what I've read, and I'm happy to be corrected on that point. In 2015, Armani released a flanker to Acqua di Gio. I believe Acqua di Gio Essenza had already been released, and I don't really know too much about that fragrance. I haven't actually smelled that one, but this quickly became very, very popular. Now, the main thing that differentiates this to the original release, apart from the fact that this is an eau de parfum concentration, also looking at the note breakdowns of each of these fragrances, the original seemed there are a lot more listed notes in that formula. It seems to be, from memory, because I haven't actually smelled it for a while, it was a little bit fruitier and there was a few more added notes. This one here, I'll list the notes here, but essentially we've got bergamot, C notes, listed as C notes, and then in the mid, that's the top note, so in the mids we then have geranium, rosemary and sage, and in the base we have patchouli and incense. That's essentially what's all that's listed. And smelling this fragrance, it is a pretty simple, straightforward, not too complex fragrance. Now, I sprayed some on a little while ago, so I'll talk about what I'm smelling in the dry down, but I'll just quickly show you the bottle. I think Armani, this particular bottle design is up there with any of the designer bottles. It's got a really nice magnetic cap, and the sprayer on this is equal, I think, to anything from Dior or Chanel. So, you know, I don't really like to go into details about bottles, but the bottle design on these Acqua di Gio is really, really nice. That's actually a translucent black, so you can see the juice level if you hold it up to the light, and you can't complain about this presentation. The smell itself, now mainly what I get in the opening is some kind of obviously synthetically created C notes. I don't really get a lot of bergamot on the opening, but it is dominated by the C notes, and what happens on my skin, it very quickly transitions into the mid notes of the geranium and rosemary and sage, and those notes blend together, and for me it gives Profumo a very herbal, I don't want to say green element, but it's definitely a herbal element that sits on the aquatic notes of the opening. Now, moving into dry down, I've read a lot of reviews of this that mention the incense is a really major point of difference between this and the original, and that's, I guess, fair enough, because different people smell different things, but I don't actually get too much incense from here. The base notes of patchouli and incense obviously don't make this like a very heavy resinous fragrance, a woody fragrance, and it's probably why it's suited to perhaps warmer weather where you want something that's a bit less of a heavyweight fragrance. So, but to my nose, I don't get a lot of incense out. Well, not certainly in the sense of the incense that you might smell in something like Amouage, for instance, where it's very noticeable and dominant. Here, it plays light in the background. I think I even get more incense dominance from something like Bulgari's Aqua Amara. So what do I think about this fragrance? I bought this very early on. This is one of the first full bottles of new fragrances that started my current collection. And I actually got this in a really good deal when I bought my bottle of Grey Vetiver from Tom Ford. This was thrown in at a drastically reduced price, so I picked it up because I had started to read some stuff about this and it was very popular. I'd only sprayed it on a tester strip when I purchased it, and at the time it smelled pleasant enough, and it definitely reminded me of the original Acqua di Gio, which I had as a young man. But as I've worn it, and I've worn this several times already because I like to rotate my fragrances. I don't tend to favor some over others, and over my summer just gone, I wore this several times. It's great on summer evenings. I mean, I would probably say that you could wear this most of the year. Maybe it might lose a bit of its effectiveness in really cold weather, but it's definitely beautiful fragrance to wear on summer evenings. It's got that element of class. It's not your run-of-the-mill light citrus refreshing fragrance. Now, how do I feel about this fragrance? I'm kind of torn because this is not a love for me, and once this bottle is finished, I'm not at this moment not sure whether I would replace it or look for something else. The thing with this fragrance is that those middle notes I spoke about earlier, being the geranium and the rosemary and the sage, that herbal accord that creates really just does not, my nose just does not find it pleasing. It's not something that I constantly want to smell. Now, having said that though, what I've found with this fragrance is that smelling it close up onto your skin, so if you're in the habit of constantly sniffing yourself and checking to see what you smell like I do sometimes, that's, for me, this fragrance is a different beast when you're doing that. However, I have smelled this fragrance on other people from a distance, and I know that this fragrance has pretty good projection and sillage because other people have noticed it on me from a few feet away, and I've had very positive, pleasant reactions to it. And it does. This is the type of fragrance that does smell a bit different from a distance, and to my nose a bit better. I think you get the whole fragrance blended together in a much more pleasing way, rather than when you smell it close up. My nose is picking up stuff that I don't like about it. To me, again, it's not a dislike, it's not a love. I will wear this, but I don't. It's not an automatic reach for me, and when I do wear it, I don't mind that it's pleasant enough, as long as I try and avoid really sniffing closely at it. And performance is very good, up to 10 hours. I get this, which is great for what's considered a warm weather fragrance. But Acqua di Gio Profumo, yeah, I mean, I've got quite a bit of this bottle left. This is a 75 5ml, and I'm not sure I think it comes in a larger size. I just can't remember if it's 100ml or 125ml, but definitely check it out. And again, some people really love this, and I haven't read too many negative reviews. As far as my review of it, I'm a bit of neutral, but willing to give it more time, because I like it a lot more now than I did probably a couple of months ago. So it probably has the potential to grow on you, and given that I've got a bottle, it's got plenty of time to either grow on me or really disgust me by the end of it. But I'm hoping it's the former and not the latter. So that's my mini review of Acqua di Gio Profumo. Let me know if you've got this and what your experience is with it. I'd be interested to know, and I'll see you next time. Bye.